All right, we're going to look at some understanding of how to add the suffix ing to words. Firstly, we need to make sure that we always clarify what it is that this suffix does and why we add it. So we add it to verbs to create a continuous tense. So it gives this idea that whatever the action is, it's occurring continuously. And it can be happening right now, so like I am talking. It can be continuous in the past, so I was talking when something else happened, or I will be talking. Okay, so it's this idea that it's a continuous action. Now, there's a few things that we need to consider when we're adding ing, and we really need to understand the vowel that's the vowel just before the end of the word, and we need to know whether it's long or short and what's happening just after that letter. So in words like taking, we know that taking is take plus ing. So in here, we actually have a silent letter E, okay? So the general rule is if the suffix begins with a vowel letter I, we get rid of the E and we just add ing, okay? So we can just get rid of that and add ing. Moving is the same. There's this E in there, but we don't want the E and the I next to each other, because the letter I in a suffix is like the second in command for that E, so it does the same job. So it comes in and says, don't worry E, you can have a rest, I'll take over your job. So that stays long, okay? So we have taking, moving. It's important to see that this is a long vowel and this is a single consonant. So long vowels are really great because they don't really need you to change much when you're adding a suffix. Same with a word like flying. So I here is a long vowel, so we can just add ing. So Y and I are quite happy to be next to each other. So when it's long vowel I represented by the letter Y, we just add the ing. It's the same in these words, but I've put this one separately because the A and the Y actually belong together, because that is a grapheme, okay? That's A-Y. In the word flowing, we have the same idea. Just getting my pencil out. We have O represented by these two letters, okay? So we just add ing, so that's pretty simple. Over here we have a long vowel and then a single consonant letter. Now, the question that comes up is, when do we double and not double that last letter? So one simple rule is, if this is a long vowel, we don't double the consonant letter that comes afterwards. We don't need to, okay? The long vowel is long and big and strong, and it doesn't need any extra protection from any extra consonants. It's on its own, okay? Same with training, we just add the ing, so that's very simple. But let me show you some trickier examples. So we have the word swim, which is which is swim plus ing. Now this sound here is a short vowel. A single letter, short vowel. Single letter, short vowel. Swimming, shopping, running. The way I explain it to young children is, if it's a short vowel, we have to protect it because it's only little, it's only a shorty. And we need to bring an extra consonant letter to protect it from this bossy guy over here, okay? Because that's a little bit bossy, like the bossy E. So that's the way I've talked about it. So I've usually said something like, we've got the word swim, and we want to invite ing to the party. Okay, he's coming to the party. But you know what? This guy here can be a bit bossy, and if we don't invite an extra M, it's going to turn it into swiming. Okay, so that's how I talk about it with the younger children, and they really like that, and it gives them a narrative they can kind of hold on to. And then we look at words like sinking, for example. And why is it that we're not doubling a letter? Well, we have a short vowel here. But look, it's already protected by 2 consonants. So we don't need to change anything there. So it gets children into the habit of looking for the vowel sound, how it's written, and then checking if there's 2 consonant letters protecting. Same with hanging. Now, is 1 sound, but it's 2 consonant letters, so that's protecting the short guy, so that's fine. Same with jumping. We've got and p, and that's protected there as well. Okay, but we're not done yet. There are times where we do have to double that letter, and it's a little bit more complicated. I wanted to show you these words here first. So if I get my pencil out, you might say to me, well, in heading, we have a short vowel because it's e, right? But we didn't double the consonant. But that's because we have 2 letters representing that sound. So they're like a team. They're good. They don't need any extra protection, okay? They're 2 letters representing that 1 short vowel, so they're all okay. Same with U for book. We don't need to double it because those 2 guys, they can handle it, okay? They can handle that bossy I on their own. Now, for the older children, things get a little bit complicated because now we have this longer word and we have to pay attention to the stress in the spelling. So if I have a word like admit, the stress is on the I here, on that I. So we don't say admit, we say admit. The stress is on this vowel. This is the important vowel. This is like the celebrity in the word. So we're going to have to protect it with some extra bodyguards. Okay, so we need the double T. Same with committing. Again, this is our little celebrity here. We've got a double T protecting it. Beginning, so you can hear this is a schwa, so that's not stressed. The stress is here on this celebrity. So we need some extra bodyguards to protect it there. To highlight this, you can see opening. This is not the celebrity. This one is right up the front. And it's fine. It's up the front. It's not going to get influenced by this suffix over here. The stress is on the opening. So we don't need to double. Same with targeting. The stress is on the AR. Stress is very difficult to teach. But for students who are struggling with these kind of words and not knowing, it's really important that we spend time thinking about it. And you can talk about these words as being the star of the party who need protection or not. Now, of course, we have some exceptions, and this is primarily due to US versus British spelling conventions. So if we have words like funneling, for example, or travelling, to me the double L looks weird, but apparently that's British spelling. The American spelling maintains that rule about the stress. So funneling, the stress is on the so we don't double. But in British English, they like to double. Of course, they want to be difficult. But the good thing is this is only for these words with the all sound in them. And there's a little bit of disagreement about shoveling and tunneling. So the rule is very consistent for all other words except for when we have the L. So you can try and think of a story to help children latch on to this idea. So, you know, maybe because when we have EL, this E at the end is, you know, it's very special and it needs a double protection. Or maybe because the L is only a very narrow letter, it needs extra support from an extra L. So that's if you're using British spelling. So give the children some kind of narrative to latch onto, and that will be really helpful. But other than that, we have some really consistent rules. So we get rid of the silent E. We keep a final Y. When we have a single short vowel, we double the consonant to protect the short vowel. And then we need to check for where an accent is in those trickier words. to see whether we need to protect that celebrity. Okay, so remember, when the accent is on that final vowel, we need to protect it with a double consonant. So it's actually quite consistent. It's to do with the long and the short vowels. So the best way to do it is to look and analyze words and really think about them.